This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, September 26th. Please stand for the invocation led by Reverend Dr. Sterling Boykin, Senior Pastor at Ashland Place United Methodist Church, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence following the pledge.
Let us pray. Father of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Jesus, thank you for this day and for the city of Mobile. Thank you for these men and women and all those who govern and work and seek the best for this city, its employees, as well as those whom we call our neighbors. O God, as this council gathers to discuss the best ways forward to a better and safer way of life, we ask that your presence will be felt to bless these men and women, that they may conduct the city's business in such a way that will please you. In considering the challenges and opportunities that face our city, we ask for the wisdom to recognize the best choices for all the people and environments of Mobile. We ask not only for the wisdom to recognize the best course of action, but the courage and the strength to act on what is right, good, and just for all people. Therefore, I pray for the various levels of city officials, in particular for this assembled council. I am asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, and personal peace in their lives and joy in their tasks. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Mobile. It is in your most blessed name that I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer, I'm going to ask Councilman Richardson if he would provide you with the details on this request.
Thank you, Madam President. A mighty woman has fallen in District 1. Yesterday, I attended the memorial service for Gertie L. Wesley, a community activist and an educator who has passed away. I would like for us to have a silent prayer for her.
Thank you very much. And before we get going, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Boykin, who is here. Dr. Boykin is my pastor, so I welcome him being here from Ashland Place United Methodist Church along with his wife, Leah. Actually, they haven't been in Mobile long. They came from Fort Walton Beach, which is my hometown. So it's nice to have them here with us in Mobile and at Ashland Place. So thank you for coming today. Ms. Lambert.
Roll call. President Gregory.
Here.
Vice President Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Manzi.
Here.
Councilmember Small.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Again, good morning. It's good to see all of you here. We have a row full of Mobile firefighters, and it's good to have you all here. You look great. Probably know why you're here. The budget is on our agenda again today, and of course that has elicited a lot of interest. We thank you all for coming. We have had yet another very lively, if you will, debate in our pre-conference meeting about the budget. And I think you will hear coming up that we are going to lay the budget over for 2 weeks. A majority of the council will not be here next week, so we will have to lay it over for 2 weeks until our next meeting. But the meetings have been good. I think they have been productive. We are looking to make some changes that we feel are in the best benefit of the city and our employees. And of course, the administration has been working very hard to help us. We appreciate all their help, and we look forward to some resolution to some questions and concerns that have come up. So that's what we'll be doing. In the meantime, this is a city council meeting, and if you come to the podium to speak, you will have 5 minutes. At the end of 4 minutes, you'll hear the buzzer sound, and that's your indication to begin wrapping up your comments. If you have questions or concerns, please address those to me. I'm the chair, and I will ask the appropriate member of the administration or the council to address those concerns at that time. Let's see, I think I've lost my place. I was watching folks come in the door. Again, thank you all for coming this morning. Just give us your name and address for the record when you do come to the podium, and we just appreciate you all being here this morning. If the mayor has no comments, and I don't see anybody here, so I don't guess he does, Mrs. Rich has a proclamation that she will go ahead and present.
It's my pleasure to call Dr. Henry Koch to the podium, please. Dr. Koch is president of the Mobile County Medical Society, and it's my honor and privilege to present a proclamation in an agenda item that the physicians in our community have. I'm going to let him talk to you a little bit about what it is they're promoting.
Okay, thank you. Good, welcome.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate the opportunity to address the council. And if I may, as an aside, say it's great to see all you firefighters here. Both Ashland Place Methodist Church and the Ashland Place Fire Station are in Councilman Richardson's district in my neighborhood, and we want to see them stay, please. So, this is a call to action to the families and citizens of Mobile. 1 in 3 children in the United States is overweight or obese. Childhood obesity puts kids at risk for lethal problems that were once seen only in adults, such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. Additionally, 6 out of 10 children born today will be obese by the time they graduate high school. In Alabama, childhood obesity is 1 in 7 in lower socioeconomic families, 19% in 10 to 17-year-olds, and 17% in high school students. Childhood obesity, Alabama ranks in the top 20 states, or the bottom 20 states, if you will, in all age categories. Why is this important? 80% of obese and overweight children will be obese, overweight adults. Our community health survey from 2015-16 by 3 of the hospitals in the area and across the state showed Mobile in the bottom 2/3 in the 66 areas mentioned, one of the more important ones being the nutrition and obesity issue. The good news is that childhood obesity can be prevented, and in recognition of National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, the physicians of the Medical Society of Mobile County, with the support of the Office of the Mayor and the City Council, encourage our citizens and families to make healthy changes together as follows. 1, get active outside. Walk around the neighborhood, go on a bike ride, play basketball in the park. 2, limit screen time. Keep screen time such as computers, watching TV, video games to 2 hours or less a day, and this includes schoolwork. 3, prepare healthy meals. Buy and serve more vegetables, fruits, and whole grain foods. Encourage fruit and veggies for snacks rather than fast foods. 4, take small steps as a family to help your child maintain a healthy weight. We encourage families to make small changes such as keeping fresh fruit within reach or going on a family walk after dinner. Physicians of Mobile County stand ready to help the community with this issue. For more information, you may contact the Medical Society office. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Just a second, Dr. Koch, because I'm going to proclaim this month, and next year at this time, or even earlier in the month, I hope that we do a real push on this message on behalf of the Medical Society, because I know you're all there to keep us well. But therefore, I, Bess Rich, council member of District 6, along with our mayor and members of the Mobile City Council, do hereby proclaim September 2017 as Childhood Obesity Awareness Month. And it's my pleasure to present this to you, sir.
Yes. And congratulations again. Thank you so much for coming. we had a special group come in this morning, and they are scheduled to perform, so they are still kind of assembling. So we may give them a few minutes to get on in the door, and we will have them perform as soon as we can get to a point in the agenda to make all that happen. So, Ms. Fairley, if you will help us facilitate that.
Are they going to do it from their seats?
I'm thinking. So we'll go ahead and move forward with the agenda, and then when we get to a point where we can have the performance, then we'll do that.
Approval of minutes of September 19th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from the mayor's office.
Just as a note of clarification, Mr. Wesh, who was normally here at all of our meetings, has been involved in a very sensitive mediation that we knew about. It was already scheduled, so we knew he would not be here. This morning during our pre-conference meeting, the mayor was suddenly called to go attend as well, so that's where they both are. So I'm sure they would ask that their absence be excused, and we can just move on. If there's anything we need to send back to the administration, Director Barber is here, and he can certainly handle that. Thank you. All right, Ms. Lambert.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on October 7th on Charleston Street, October 28th on Dolphin Street, October 7th at Langham Park, October 7th, Dauphin Island Parkway, and October 11th on North Dearborn Street.
So moved.
Second.
Public hearing.
No, these are appeals.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Excuse me.
All right, any discussion on these appeals? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, public hearings.
Public hearings. Today is the public hearing to rezone property at 3915 and 3921 Cottage Hill Road, south side of Cottage Hill Road, through 235 feet east of Azalea Road, extending to the north side of Shelley Drive, 215 feet east of Azalea Road, from B1 and B2 to LB2.
So moved.
Well, this is a public hearing.
Oh, there we go, Bess, you got me off guard.
Yeah, I know. I set off the tone.
All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to come to the podium to speak on this particular rezoning issue, please come on down. Okay, with that, the public hearing is closed.
Public hearing to rezone property at 402 St. Anthony Street, northwest corner of St. Anthony Street and North Franklin Street, 80 feet east of North Hamilton Street, extending to the south side of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue and State Street, from SDWH and T5.1 to SDWH.
All right, this is another public hearing for rezoning. If anyone in the audience would like to speak to this, please come to the podium.
So we're right along.
Okay, the public hearing is closed.
Today is a public hearing to determine if the structures at 7240 8th Street, 1205 Peabody Drive, 1458 Cloverleaf Circle, 798 Gargus Street, and 7718 Avenue E are public nuisances and ordering them repaired or demolished.
All right, this is a public hearing for a number of these properties. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to any of them, please feel free to come to the podium. Yes, ma'am.
I notice I am currently working
If you
with-
would give us your name and address
Oh,
for the
I'm so
record.
sorry.
And pull the
It's-
microphone down just a little bit so we can hear you.
It's Susan Allen. I currently reside at 1853 Weaver Drive in 8 Mile, Alabama, 36613.
Okay.
And I'm here on behalf of the 1205 Peabody Drive.
Peabody Drive,
It's my
okay?
former residence. It has been burned out, it's a burned out structure, and I'm currently working on getting that demolished or done away with. I'm working with Miranda Davis. Miss Miranda called me on the 14th of September. Thank you very much for your call. And I'm trying to get her an update on, I was working on a loan to get that demolished, and now that kind of fell through, so I'm working with people at the church, and maybe we can get that demolished and updated, and then I will give her an update.
Okay. What we're doing today is just determining whether it's a nuisance and asking that it be repaired or demolished. So you've got some time, and Mr. Doggenbaugh is in the corner, and he was nodding his head as you told us that you were working with Miranda. So if you want to, just meet with David before you go and just make sure everything is going through the process correctly. And if you have any questions, he'll be happy to answer those.
Okay.
But you do have some time, so
Okay.
we appreciate you coming and doing
no
this
worries.
and
Thank you
working
very
toward
much.
repairing that. Thank you so much. And David, if you'll wave your hand so she'll,
Bye. You have a great day.
oh, thank you, you too. Okay, yes, sir.
My name is Aaron Freeman. I stay at 961 South Dearborn Street, but I'm here by the property of 798 Garger Street.
790.
Yeah, that's
Garger Street. Yeah, and we're currently, rebuilding it now. I mean, I have no picture to show you that where we at right now with it. We've come a long way.
Madam President,
Yes, sir, Mr. Small.
this is the one we was going to table.
Yes.
Yeah, for the progress
Yeah,
made.
Mr. Doggenbaugh spoke with us this morning, and he told us that you were working with him, and he asked us if we would table this. So he asked us if we would table this, which means we're not going to vote on it.
Okay.
So you're good to go to continue doing what you're doing.
Okay.
And we appreciate you coming down.
Okay, so I'm free.
You're good, yeah.
Yeah, it's removed from.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. All right, anybody else who would like to speak to any of these properties? Okay, with that, then the public hearing is closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Timothy Hollis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Timothy Hollis, 1924 Seal Street. Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam President. What I have is more so addressed to the administration, but to the matters of the mayor. And he's not here today, but I'll put it out there anyway, so to get back to him. But I prefer to speak to the mayor because I've emailed him, I've called him. He has an open door policy. I would like to talk to him.
Okay.
The National African American Archives Museum, are we going to open that back up? When are we going to open it? And are we going to promote it as we're promoting other venues of history throughout our city? We still have Admiral Ralph Sims, so I believe we should still have access to National African American Archives as well that pertain to our city of Mobile. Let's not omit that part of history. Secondly, about my second thing that I signed up to speak about, I'd like to commend Councilman Fred Richardson for his work on trying to help the Tomanville Titans still play their home game last week at Figures Park when we had the DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins Day. And I don't have a voice right now because I lose it after Saturday.
You were yelling so much and too excited, right?
Yes, ma'am. So, I like to thank him and commend him on that, but I did find error in that prior to having to have him advocate for us. We met with the administration, certain people on the department. We came to somewhat of a conclusion that we would make things work, have everybody placed at a home field, and we'll all be there together because we had already planned for that weekend to be our homecoming anyway. So we had to repurpose ourselves and we had to switch things around, and at the end of the conclusion we had become to be 3 different parks, and everybody was playing at 3 different parks is what I'm trying to say. We had over 5 teams playing at 3 different parts of the county when originally we were prepared to be right in our community. And we wanted to have both of those events in the community at the same time so that DeMarcus Cousins could see actually what he was putting that park there for. And these are things that we felt could have worked. And when I got there after our game was over, which you had 6-year-olds playing at 3 o'clock, which they're not used to, that's nap time. We still came out, and when I saw that the stage was set up on our football field, I felt like that could have been set up on a softball field, or for that matter, a stage could have been built on an old basketball court or anything. And I reached out to the administration to try to present these solutions, but I'm here speaking to you today. And I have no ill will towards the administration. I just want them to open their lines of communication and do a better job like they say they will do. And we don't ever omit the kids again. And I reached out to the media, and the media wouldn't even respond because they said it was too much of a high-profile event happening, so they didn't want to seem like they were picking a fight with the city. So I could understand that, being former media. And I just want to say that Toulminville Titans is here to stay, and we're thankful for our councilmen working with us. And just like I heard Councilman Small say last year when they had the groundbreaking at Matron, don't get in the kids' way of their football game. That's all we're saying. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words to Mr. Richardson here. Did you want to respond?
I would just like to say I support the Toulminville Titans 100%. These are kids, almost 300 of them, from the Toulminville area, and all they're asking you to do is to be allowed to play at the Fickers Park. So I understand what happened on the weekend. We had an event up there, but I support the Toulminville Titans having an opportunity to play at Fickers Park. But I just want to make sure that is known.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lambert, go ahead.
Ron Green.
Good morning, Ron Green, 2255 Hitchcock Street, and I'm here as a concerned citizen and taxpayer. Last week I was in this council meeting, and one of my friends proposed that the city council release a itemized budget of the penny tax. I'm sure you guys remember that. And I kind of got the feeling that she wasn't given due process, that it was kind of blown off to the side. It's the feeling that I got personally. Now, after leaving here, I was taken over to, Africa Town, and I was shown the community garden. And what I saw was, I had to report on it right then and there. That the garden, I read a couple of weeks ago that there was a $15,000 allocation for that garden, for a irrigation system. And when I went over, what I saw was 3 water hoses and sprinklers. And it kind of blew my mind. And it made me realize how important it was that as citizens ask to see where the money is being spent as taxpayers, I think it is our money, correct? That we want to know where our money is being spent and what it's being allocated for. Now, it goes even further that as I examined this property, what I saw was that it's built under an electrical grid. And I'm not an environmental specialist, but what I do understand is that nothing grows on the electrical grid. So that is how we are not being excluded into the process, because someone should have said that. There should have been at least somebody come out to examine that property. And I know that that property was donated, but of course it's donated. What else can be done? What else can be done with it? So to me, it's very important now that this issue becomes even more prevalent, that we want to know. So we're asking, again, that you guys please, in Excel form, allow the citizens to see where our money is being spent in the surplus and how was it being allocated for. It's not a major request. It's almost necessary. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. The budget, of course, is on the city's website for anyone to go and look at it. It is not in an Excel spreadsheet form with everything completely itemized line by line. The council itself doesn't have that unless we ask for it specifically, but I did send your email to Mr. Wesh so that he had all of your requests. And so they are the ones that have those itemized lists that you're looking for. And so that's the direction that you have to go to get it. Anyone else? Mr. Manzi?
Yes, Madam President. I'd like to just encourage Mr. Green. I don't think anything he said is out of order, with the exception that we're not the body to make that request of. You need to go to the administration, specifically Mr. Paul Wesch. And I think Ms. MacArthur, as learned as she is of this process, probably is aware that she needed to go to Mr. Wesch, because that's where the budget emanates from. We get it from them. So I believe if you ask and inquire of Mr. Wesch, then they'll be able to provide that information. Secondly, I want to address the community garden. It's a community garden because the community chose that particular plot. And Mr. Green made a statement that anything won't grow. Yes, it will. Collard greens, squash, tomatoes, you name it. And it will grow in that plot of land even if it doesn't water, if you don't water it. The community will fight you over that community garden. That's why I can't sit here and not defend the Africatown Community Garden. The citizens love that garden. They spend a lot of time cultivating and nourishing the things that grow in that garden. And the $15,000 that was allocated was not directly city funds. It was funds from a CDBG grant, which was federal dollars. So the Africatown Community Garden is in good shape. We appreciate Alabama Power for donating that land, and I'm looking forward to enjoying collard greens from that same garden for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. Go Africatown Community Garden.
Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Manzi. Mr. Richardson?
I would also like to say that no grant money is a part of the budget. You can get the budget on a spreadsheet, but you won't find any grant money in the budget. The grant money has to be, the budget has to be the money made up of the taxes we collect, not money that we receive from a grant from another agency. None of that money is in our budget.
But thank you for coming. We appreciate your questions and Ms. MacArthur's questions last week. And I know Ms. Sapp and Ms. Mallory are here, and so they heard the request as well. So anything specifically that she was looking for, if y'all can maybe help facilitate that, we'd appreciate it. All right. Ms. Lambert?
Michael Pruitt.
Is Michael Pruitt here? No. Okay.
Matt Waltman.
Matt?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Matt Waltman. I reside at 5485 Dogwood Trail, 8 Mile, Alabama. Good morning, Madam President, councilors, Chief Barber. Well, we all know why I'm here. We come here, about a month ago when the budget was brought before everybody, the public spectrum. We had some concerns. We brought those concerns to this body. Everybody was present at the time. And of course, a chain of events has transpired between then and up to where we are now. And my general impression, not a darn thing has changed from that week one to where we are now. I've heard several counselors express that same concern at pre-council. I've attended all but one of the meetings, between the Finance Committee meetings, the pre-council meetings, the council meetings. There's been some efforts behind the scene to try to address some of our concerns, the biggest one being, of course, staffing along with longevity. Staffing was slated to be possibly addressed toward the later of this proposed fiscal year budget, and there was a period of time where it appeared longevity would also be addressed later in the year, which brought some encouraging news not only to myself but to the men and women that you see here behind me, just a small few, and the hundreds that are watching. Believe it or not, you do have fans that watch the YouTube, the live streaming. Communication from the fire chief's office to us was expressing some positive results based on concessions along with some cost-cutting initiatives that have been a combined effort between the chief's office along with the men and women on the front line and on the staff divisions, making some appropriate adjustments and changes. And everything looked encouraging. It still looks encouraging, except I see doubt on your eyes, and you are the stewards of the budget. You are the ones that decide this budget, And you all have concerns. Most of you on this council have expressed and gone the extra step to state that your intention is to help us implement that for the men and women of the MFRD. I expressed that same concern, and I expressed the lack of implementation coming from the mayor's office. I would say that directly to him, but I'm addressing you because this is your business meeting. I would tell him that to his face. I have a concern that we have not the one person in the room that could really ease a lot of people's questions, doubts, yes or no, it's going to possibly work, it's not going to work, has not come out and said it, and has not given a date. I implore you all to please stay on the track that you're on. I implore the communication to improve. Councilman Williams said it best, we're all chasing rabbits here. Between all of the meetings that have taken place, there has been a question presented from either this side of the aisle, that side of the aisle, but there's never been a follow-up to it up to where we are today. And now you all are about to possibly delay the budget, not because of this necessarily, but because of a comprehensive list of concerns, which I believe this is one of them. I hope that dialogue improves. I hope it does so we can tell them what's to come down the road. You're asking these people and the people on the streets of all departments, not just the fire department, but all departments, to make do with less, to do more with less. And for the most part, I believe a lot of people are doing that. Councilman Manzi has made an effort to try to reward other employees. I think that's certainly laudable, and hopefully that is something that can be appreciated. You can turn that around and return that investment back to the employees. We're the largest customer service representative for the city on the street. Not dismissing the mayor, not dismissing you. I don't mean that disrespectfully. But normally the first person someone sees involved in the city is going to be someone handling utilities, a law enforcement officer on the scene of an accident, a firefighter, or an emergency medical technician dealing with a medical need. So I ask that you all stay on the road with us, and we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you coming. And again, we do appreciate you all being here today. As I mentioned earlier in my opening comments, we did have another debate, if you will, at our pre-conference meeting, as we have had several times before, including those Finance Committee meetings where we have talked about the longevity pay. And that has been a very important issue for all of us, as well as the administration. And as Matt said, it's something that we are trying to work out. The mayor has sent a letter to me. I know Mrs. Rich got it, and we were forwarding it to the other council members, and I wish he was here to say that in person, but he would like to let everybody know that he is committing to commencing the EMS longevity raises in April 1st, and that's what he has been talking about. Now, Mrs. Rich has as a concern that it is not reflected in the budget, and that's what we were talking about today, that we would like it to be reflected as best as possible so that it's there, it's in writing, and we know that it is definitely going to come. And that's really what we've been talking about, and it's something that we would like to have resolved before we vote.
We second that concern.
If I
Director, let me get Director Barber, if you would comment, then I'll go to Mrs. Rich.
Yes, when I took over as Public Safety Director on April 1st, one of the big things was to make sure that we get fire department budgeted in the right aspect, but also to make sure that the longevity raises did come into Mobile Fire. First and foremost, let me commend Chief Seeley and his team for the incredible job they've done in a very short time in managing that budget, and that is what has given us hope to be able to proceed forward. I also commend Mobile Fire Rescue and Matt for their support. They have had to actually do a lot more with a lot less this year. And I always want to make sure I make this point, is that we're not browning out stations. These guys have stepped up, the trucks are running, and so they certainly are deserving, and I see a lot of firefighters here today, and what I think that they need to hear, that so long as I am the Public Safety Director, whether or not longevity raises happen is not an option. They are definitely going to get these. What we've had to agree on were the means on how to get there and when to actually execute that. And I'll tell you that will, as talking to all of you, as well as the administration, will happen on April the 1st. And so long as I am the Public Safety Director, it will happen exactly as we say it will. And that's my comment.
All right, thank you. There is no doubt you have the full support of the council. We're just trying to make sure it is done in the right way so that there is no doubt that those raises happen. We've got the mayor's word, we've got the director's word. Mrs. Rich and some of the council members had a concern about making sure it was reflected in the budget. That was the big concern, but I'm going to let her speak for herself.
Thank you.
Mrs. Rich.
No, there's an expression, trust yet verify. And right now, the council's position is to verify that the allocation is there. I have the email, and I certainly appreciate that. And I know that it's sincere. There's not a doubt in my mind. Last year, I made a huge mistake in not seeing parity by virtue of a budget that was let go. And if the numbers don't reflect it, then I do not get that comfort level to verify. And I do hope that the administration will be able to put numbers back into that confirmation so that we can all just kind of sit back, because once it leaves our agenda as an item, there is nothing other than through an amendment. And I would like to prevent an amendment process, strictly know that it is there by virtue of what we're hearing. So I am encouraged, and I believe there is a way forward. I've worked with other administrations that have changed projections, and is, you know, that's not the sense I got from the administration at our pre-conference meeting, but I truly hope that is changed in order to give this council the verification that we are on the right path. So, thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, Ms. Lambert.
Tony McCarron, regarding the budget.
Tony McCarron, 3019 Calais Street, District 1, under Councilman Fred Richardson, Vice President of Firefighters Local 1349. I was so glad to see that coach come up here and talk to you about those Tomanville Titans. Because those 6-year-olds he was talking about, and I watched every one of you, had a big smile on your face. Those 6-year-olds grow up to be those men and women right there, working for this city. Sports have always played a huge part of my life and my kids' lives. And I raised them up here in Mobile under the understanding that if you do your job, just yours, and every other teammate does his, you have a chance to be successful, possibly even a champion. So it brings me to this team that I represent. Do I love it? You're dang right I do. So much I die for it. Do they love it? Risk their lives every third day for it. Willing to die for anybody in this city, whether you're transitioning through it or whether you live in it. Never question it. I look at the manager of this team that y'all just put in place. Does he love it? Darn right he does, because I've known him for 25 years. He hired the best assistant coach you could hire to crunch numbers, 15 hours a day, to make sure we get it. Then y'all put in place a general manager who I trust 110%. He has pushed and pushed and pushed and told us, there's no doubt whether we're going to get this. It's win. Which brings me to this, and this is the part I can't understand. The owner of the team don't want to stand up and say, we're going to get it. I want to hear it from him. And I want to see it written in that budget. Because anybody can say that, and this is no disrespect to Ricardo Woods, he's a front man. I don't want to hear it from a front man. I want to hear it from the mayor. And I want to see it written in this budget so the men and women I represent that risk their lives every third day know that it's in there. That projections doesn't matter. That in April, with a back door built into this thing, that they come in April and say, the projections didn't meet what we thought it was going to meet, and they walk out the back door and not a word said. Loyalty deserves its rewards. We do it in our marriages. Every year you get a better anniversary gift. At 25 years, I'm out a whole lot more than I was in year 2. Right?
Yes.
All I'm asking you to do is look at these men and women who represent everybody in here, that work hard for everybody in here. We don't care what color, what creed, where you're from, or anything else. We go in and get you. Please hold the owner's feet to the fire. Write it into the budget. We're okay with April. We're conceding that. Please don't make our whole entire team work for nothing. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right now.
And Tony and Matt, always good to see y'all. Thanks for coming. All right.
Ronald Hunt regarding the budget.
Hello, I'm Ronald Hunt. My legal address is 1351 Sandra Drive, Mobile, Alabama 36618. I have a couple of questions. Just what I spoke about last week, the $40,000 for the North Pole Stroll. I kept calling it the Downtown Stroll, but it's the North Pole Stroll. Is there going to be anything further done with that? I'd like to be asked. The mayor was supposed to talk about what was going to happen for Christmas, and I haven't heard anything, and he wasn't here to make a statement. But I thought the intent was to get that money in some form of performance contract before the end of the fiscal year, which is Saturday, September 30th. Just throwing that out. And the other question is, am I allowed to discuss a budget? It's not really an amendment, but a revision to the proposed budget that Councilman Manzi has gone on record in pre-council saying he's going to introduce it, but he hasn't introduced it. So can I speak about?
You can speak to the budget. That's what, it's on the agenda, so. And you were at the meeting, so go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Well, I would like you to tell Councilman Manzi if I make any, well, I'm supposed to address you.
You are, but he can hear you, yes.
If I make a mistake, please correct me, Councilman.
Yes,
but
sir.
my understanding is that you want to take $525,200 from the Gulf Quest budget, part of which is the utilities and part of which is employees, and give that to give 1,237 city employees that are earning less than $45,000 a $400 raise.
Well, it's not a raise, it would be a bonus.
A
but
bonus.
Otherwise, I think you've got it. Mr. Manzi, is that somewhat?
It's
Okay.
1,337, and the amount is $535,200.
You were close.
I'm kind of, that's
Yeah.
famous for that. Well, my question is, when we start dealing with these budgets, we're just shifting money, and what we're basically doing is taking money out of the pockets of the people that work at Gulf Quest and giving it to our city employees. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a net gain where we're really increasing our tax liabilities, our lodging taxes, our city sales tax, tips for servers at restaurants, at hotels. And I don't think economically, as a person with a master's degree in economics, that that is truly a wise way to use $535,200. Did I get it correct that time? In other words, we'll be taking this money by reducing hours at Gulf Quest and giving it as a bonus, hopefully for Christmas, for our city employees. And we're just transferring money from one place to another. But if we spend the money on Gulf Quest, hopefully some people from out of town, other than Mobile County, or the city of Mobile, will come. They'll stay at a hotel, they'll buy a meal, they'll buy something that gives us sales tax at the gift shop, they'll eat at the restaurant, the cafe over at Gulf Quest, and there will be some economic incentive for that. So personally, I think the problem with Gulf Quest is it needs a budget to promote it so that it can create economic vitality for the city rather than end up being a drain. And I realize right now it's not living up to its expectations, but part of that is because a lot of people don't know we have this wonderful amenity down on our riverfront. There aren't many museums at all in the country that deal with what Gulf Quest is dealing with. And yet we don't have an advertising budget really to let people know that it's there and the wonderful opportunities that it has for it. I don't wish to not give a $300 or the $400 budget, $400 bonus to our city employees, but I really think that's a way of just transferring money And you're basically just taking it from the employees of GulfQuest to give it to the City of Mobile employees.
No.
Okay.
I think, did you want to address the council?
Hey, Mr. Hunt, I'll ask Mr. Manzi. Just let me say one thing. Some of the employees that are at GulfQuest are city employees. So we're not taking it strictly from GulfQuest and giving it to city employees. Some of the employees there are city employees today. Mr.
Well,
Manzi.
if you have to reduce hours.
No, Mr. Hunt. Mr. Manzi.
Well, first off, if there are any reduction in hours at GulfQuest, it won't be because of the amount of tourism. It'll be because of the lack of tourism. That's what precipitated the reduction in the first place. And while I respect the fact that you have a master's degree in mathematics, I do disagree with your assessment. If we take 500 and some odd thousand from 8 people, the vast majority live in a neighboring county, and give it to 1,337 citizens who live here in the city of Mobile and work, and as Mr. McCarron just said, are the daily customer service representatives of this city. If we each give them $400 at Christmas time, the goal would be that they take that $400, save some of it, but spend it right in our community, in the very same restaurants, in the very same shops that you just referenced in your very eloquent presentation. So I totally disagree with your final assessment, even in light of your increased education relative to mathematics. 1,337 people receiving what 8 people would have gotten will increase our tax revenue here in the city of Mobile. And the best way for GulfQuest to move forward, the monies that we're expending or that are being proposed for GulfQuest are brand new resources. It was never designed for the city to pump 7 figures into it every year. And my fear is that if we go down this road this year doing that, the expectation will always be that the city will step in and provide 7 figures worth of augmentation to GulfQuest's budget. And so if I have a choice between spending $1 million for 8 employees at GulfQuest or spending that same amount of money in investing in the hardworking employees of the city of Mobile, I'm going with our employees every single time. Thank you.
Can I make one rebuttal?
Hang on. You were at our pre-conference meeting, so you heard all of this discussion already once today, so you know where the council stands on this. I know Mrs. Rich had a
I just
comment.
want to briefly, just so Mr. Hunt is clear, the council cannot add any additional money unless we have a revenue stream to catch that money in, okay? Like, in other words, a tax or a fee. So the only thing the council can do is look at what is on the table and kind of rearrange the furniture, so to speak. So we don't have options to do as by law what you're saying might be a better alternative. In other words, just put in new money, if that's what you were alluding to. I thought you said that we weren't making a good choice, because our choices are based on what is already budgeted, and so to move it, we can only move what is given to us as the revenue available.
All right,
which is why I'm having trouble trying to find $925,000 to do longevity, because that is something that you can't gut departments and move around. This is an option. It's a serious option, and it's a good option in my opinion. So I do favor that amendment or that change that we would be making.
All right, Mr. Richardson, did you have a comment?
Yes, okay. Madam President, I think I want to put this as clear as possible. GulfQuest has failed. It is on a life support system that the mayor placed it on. It has no pulse and no heartbeat except a mechanical pulse and a mechanical heartbeat. We planned for 350,000 people to come to this museum. We got children coming over. We had 32 people ready to receive those people. Now we have a bus full of children with half of that staff, 16 people over there. We started off with 32, waiting on thousands of people to come. Now we got 16 people over there with a couple of buses coming over there. It has failed us. It's time to repurpose it and pull the plug.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Hunt, for coming.
Can I just
No, that's
clarify
it.
my point? That
No,
the
sir.
500
No, Mr. Hunt, you've had your 5 minutes. Thank you.
I didn't have my 5 minutes. I had 4.
Lisa, did he have his 5 minutes? Mary Ann?
Yes.
All right, they're nodding their heads. All right. Anyone else?
Ken Knuckles.
Ken Knuckles?
Yes, this is, the rezoning.
Oh.
That's, okay.
Okay. All right.
And Mr. Cott is already gone.
Yes, Dr. Koch.
Okay. Ordinance is held over 64034, rezone property at 5803, 5809, and 5811 O'Shell Road from B2 and R2 to B2 Lot A and R1 and R2 to R3 Lot B.
I'd like to move to layover, and what was the date we?
October 17th.
October 17th.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions held over 37531. Recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license for a discount zone on North Broad Street.
Discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
09553, adopt the 2017-2018 budgets for the General Fund, Capital Improvement, Strategic Plan, and the Convention Center.
Move to lay over for 2 weeks.
Second.
All right, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
1 in opposition.
21578, authorized contract with Connect Network doing business as Inline for Airport Boulevard signal improvement fiber installation.
So move.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ms. Lambert, if you will.
Madam President.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would like to come back to that one if you don't
Oh, okay.
mind.
Go ahead, Mr. Daves.
This is the long-awaited capital improvement fund money to improve the lights on Airport Boulevard from Sage Avenue to Pine Brook. This is a portion of the total price, which is about $650,000 altogether. This project has received a lot of attention over the last, I guess, 2 or 3 years it's been out there. It's actually a 2016 project. It's taken a long time to put it together, to get the engineering all done and get the project in a place where we could go ahead and start approving the contract. I was happy to devote District 5 CIP funds to this project, which benefits all citizens of the city of Mobile. All citizens, there may be some that don't have to get on Airport Boulevard, but if there are any, I'm not familiar with them. Almost everybody else has to travel that stretch of road, and it's a frustrating, difficult, time-consuming pass through that stretch of road, and I'm hoping that this system we're installing will make that, it's never going to make it fun, but it might make it a little bit better, and I hope we'll see that. And this is, we're doing this here on Airport Boulevard. I understand we're going to have a similar system on Water Street, and if these systems pan out the way we think they will, then I will be looking to install a similar system on Dolphin Street from Sage Avenue out to McGregor Avenue. Thank you, Madam President.
All right, thank you. What I was getting ready to say was we do have this special group here today who are set to perform. So this is at the request of Mr. Richardson. He's got the information on the group. So we would like, since we're kind of in the middle of some resolutions, to let them go ahead and perform. I think most everybody was here for the budget anyway. So if we could kind of take a little bit of a break and let this group get set up and let them perform, that's what I'd like to try to do. Deidre, do they need to come down here or are they going to stay up there? Stay up there? Very good, okay.
We also like to say that this group is from the U.J. Robinson Senior Center. And Ms. Rosetta Daniels, are you here, Ms. Daniels?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
We're from U.J. Robinson Daycare, and we brought our group down here to perform, and they're very excited. And thank you, Councilor Richmond.
Yes.
And we're going to get Marie to do our introduction.
Okay, outstanding. I believe she's ready.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
On behalf of, my name is Weena Marie Wattenberger. On behalf of U.J. Robinson, I'm here to represent the clients, and I'm nervous, so y'all just bear with me this morning.
Say it down.
You're doing great.
We are here to say thank you to District 1 Councilman and Council Vice President, Mr. Frederick Richardson, District 2 Councilman, Mr. Levon Manzi, and District 3 Councilman, Mr. C.J. Small, for their support of the Robinson Center. Allocations from them helped us to replace an old and badly leaking roof. Many of the improvements done on the inside were damaged by water. Many of the improvements done on the inside were damaged by water when part of the roof collapsed. So on behalf of the clients and staff of the Robinson Center, I extend a heartfelt thank you and ask for your continued support.
All right now.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Richardson.
Good morning.
I am Willie Ann Law. I am new with the Robinson Center. I actually started there a few months ago as an intern. While I'm still doing an internship. I'm actually a student at the University of Phoenix, and I'll be completing January 15th. Yay! But I want to give you a little history on the Robinson Center. The U.J. Robinson Memorial Center is a nonprofit organization that provides daycare centers to the elderly and adults with special needs, various levels of abilities. They have disabilities here, but I feel no one's totally disabled. They just have various levels of abilities, so I kind of changed that. Since 1871, the U.J. Robinson Memorial Center, which we call the Robinson Center, has provided supervised care in a protective setting for individuals who are at risk of abuse, neglect, exploitation, and institutionalization. The Robinson Center has operated under various names in the same location for under 145 years. The Robinson Center facility was the first of its kind built in the state of Alabama, specifically as an adult daycare. We have a team of dedicated and compassionate activity workers who provide stimulating activities and ensure client safety. Our knowledgeable and experienced full-time kitchen staff prepares and serves nutritious breakfast, lunch, and snacks on site. All 7 city council districts are represented in our diverse clientele. Our clients range in the age of 23 years old to 104 years old, but share many common interests. We are always looking for new ways to provide meaningful activities. This year, we'd like to build a fence in the walking trail and a walking trail for our clients to enjoy when weather permits. And I thank you for allowing us to be here today, and you're in for a treat. Thank you.
Thank you. As the chorus gets ready to set up, and please go ahead and do that, I did get a message from George Talbert and Director Barber, and they wanted to have a few words. If you would, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. On communication with the mayor, both George and I were trying to get him down here to address personally the issue of the longevity raises. He's in mediation, as you know, cannot leave that particular discussion. And rather than hold this up anymore, we did get confirmation from the mayor that upon you passing the budget, he will amend the budget to include the longevity raises to be effective April the 1st. Even though that's not from the mayor, that was communicated directly to me from the mayor. And what I would offer you this, that if it doesn't happen, then you can take my resignation and use that money to fund the longevity raise.
All right, thank you. And I apologize, I'm going to have to slip out. I have some family issues that I have to deal with today. So thank you all for coming, and I know it's going to be a wonderful performance. So thank you again for coming, and Mr. Richardson will take the gavel.
First, we're going to have Leggett Jones to do us a solo right quick.
Stand up, Leggett.
Oh my God. Yeah, even thunder is all. Are you a pretty play? I see the stars. Yeah, even thunder purpose to all. Are you a pretty play? It save my soul. But say, God, to thee, how great they are, how great they are. It say, my soul, but say, God, to thee, how great they are, how great they are. It's a fucker. The nation, it take me home, then I feel my heart, I shall bow. Yeah, nation, I do for pray, I got how great they are, it save my soul, but say God to thee. How great they are, how great they are. It say my soul, my say God to thee. How great they are, how great they are.
Now we're going to have a solo by Larry Davis.
God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's been good to me.
Now we're going to sing We Got the Whole World in Our Hands by our group. Stand up, everybody.
Okay.
Stand up, everybody. Just sing together. Come on. Come on. Come on, down. Come on. Marie, come on, stand up. Come on. We got the whole world.
We got the whole world. We got the whole world in his hand. World in his hand. We got the whole world. In his hand, we got the whole world. Got the whole world in his hand.
so very much.
Yes. Outstanding, outstanding. And I would like to say it to Ms. Daniels, on that fence, figure out how much it costs for the fence. Let me know. Let's see what
Sure will. Thank you.
Yeah.
If they find out how much it costs and y'all come up with the supplies, we'll provide firemen to build the fence.
That's what I'm talking
All right. Mr. Vice President.
Thank you.
Mr. Vice President. Yeah. Right. I just want to say to count me in on helping with the supplies. And I also want to say, coming out of the Baptist church, after hearing such great singing, it would be offering time. Just want to put that out there.
Vice President Richardson.
Yes.
I would like to thank the directors and the supervisors and staff for all your hard work. I have been over to the facility, and I do know that the limited resources that you all have. But I'd like to thank you all for just embedding into the community. As you see, it's well diverse. And I would like to follow with Councilman Manzi that I would also like to help with the fence along with the firemen. Thank you.
Outstanding.
And so would.
Outstanding. We're going to give.
And Councilman Davis will too. Give him a big round.
I believe Councilman Rich would kind of help with that, and I think all of the council members would help with that. Let us know how much it costs, and we're going to take care of the fence. We'll figure it out, no doubt about it. We have a long ways to go. We have a few left. I think we can. Let's move on.
Resolution 01579, authorized master services agreement with Planning Next for general services to support staff in preparation and delivery of strategic planning related services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
21.
That item passed.
21580, authorized contract with Simplex Grenell for fire alarm system inspection and testing, various City of Mobile facility locations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
09581, 582, 583, 584, 585, 586.
All right.
Are reallocations from general fund discretionary accounts to capital improvement funds and to grant funds.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
Ordinances being introduced for the first time, 64035 through 64036.
Make a motion for suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of ordinance 64035 and 64036.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's go.
Ordinance 64035 is rezoning property.
Yep.
Rezoning property at 3915 and 3921 Cottage Hill Road from B1 and B2 to LB2.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
64036, rezone property at 402 St. Anthony Street from SDWH and T5.1 to SDWH.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
Consent resolutions being introduced for the first time, 31587 through 09610.
Motion to suspend the rules for the said resolutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Set to go.
31587, authorize the mayor to apply, accept, and receive funding from Department of Justice fiscal year 17 collective healing demonstration site initiative.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go.
Let's read again.
40, 588, 589, 590, and we have to take 591 separately.
Okay.
Yes. 592. That's there. Need a motion.
So moved.
We're waiting for
Oh,
you to
I'm sorry, I
read
didn't
it.
read out what they were.
Yeah.
Declare the structures at 7248th Street, 1205 Peabody Drive, 1458 Cloverleaf Circle, and 7718 Avenue E, public nuisances, and ordering them repaired or demolished.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Go back to 9-1.
Pass.
40, 591, declare the structure at 798 Gorgas Street a public nuisance and order it repaired or demolished.
Move to table.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It pass.
37593, if there's no objection, I'll take these two together.
Yes.
37593 and 594 are recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a brew pub license for Iron Hand Brewing on State Street and for a restaurant retail liquor license for Iron Hand Brewing on State Street.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Vice President, I'd like to just commend the leadership of this Iron Hand Brewing. This will be a brew pub in the heart of DeTonti Square. There are residents from DeTonti Square here in support. They can't wait till it opens. They promise that they're going to be civil, but they are going to enjoy the libations that will come forward from this Iron Hand Brewing. We've got 3 brew pubs slated to come into District 2 over the next few months, and Iron Hand certainly is welcomed. They have assured me that they will also have amongst their beverages sweet tea so that I can go in and enjoy as well. So I want to congratulate them. I want to thank the citizens from DeTonti Square that have come out and certainly ask and expect hopefully that we can pass both of these agenda items today.
Any further discussion?
Vice President,
Yes.
did Reverend Menz say Long Island iced tea?
Just no, Brother Trustee. It'll just be regular sweet tea.
If no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
58, 595, 596, 597, and 598 are authorizing removal of weeds and assessing costs for removal of weeds. Group 1568, Weedling Group number 10, Group 1565, and 1563.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? They pass.
09607, 608, 609, and 610 are reallocating monies from various council discretionary accounts to capital improvement funds.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
CIP resolutions being introduced for the first time, 21599 through 21600.
Motion to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of the resolution read.
Second.
All in favor?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's go.
21599, authorized contract with Indoor Air Technologies for Taylor Park Community Center closed cell spray foam installation.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, Vice President, This is a great project for the Taylor Park. If you go to Taylor Park today, you will see that the installation is dripping down. I'm glad to see this contract before us today, and encourage my council members to help for this on the pass, for we can have a better community center at the Taylor Park, which is located on Baltimore Street. Thank you so much.
All right, any more discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
21-600, authorized contract with Acre Construction Corporation for various parks drinking fountains.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passed.
Resolutions being introduced for the first time, 21-601 through 21-604.
Lay over according to council rules.
Call for public hearings, 41-605. Call for public hearing to rezone property at 1610 Union Street, east side of Union Street, 643 feet south of Rochester Street, from R1 and B1. Scheduled October 20, from R1 to B1. Scheduled October 24th. 41-606. Call for public hearing to rezone property at 1625 Union Street, east and west sides of Union Street, 345 feet south of Rochester Street, from R1 to R3, scheduled October 24th.
I get a motion. Do we have a motion?
Yes, the motion's made.
Second.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Announcements. First announcement, there will not be a council meeting next week, October the 3rd, right? I'm sorry, October the 2nd. Or is it the 3rd? The 3rd, October 3rd.
That too.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Nothing here, Fred, thanks.
CJ?
Thank you, Vice President Richardson. Would like to remind the citizens of District 3 that we will be having a series of community meetings that's coming up. On last Tuesday, I had read the wrong email, but the correct dates, which will be followed up by a letter in your mailbox from next week, will be in different parts of the district. On October the 5th, on Thursday, we'll be at the Craighead Elementary School. On October the 12th, which is a Thursday, we will be meeting at the St. Monica Catholic Church on Dolphin Island Parkway for the Maysville and North DIP area. For the South DIP communities, we will be meeting on Thursday, October the 19th, and for the Hallsmill Road communities, we'll be meeting at the Mertz Elementary School on Government Boulevard, which is October the 26th. Each meeting will take place at 6:00 p.m. The purpose of the meeting is to define street captains for each street throughout District 3, for we can pretty much take back our district to make it one of the best in the city of Mobile. Also, we will be discussing future CIP project, inviting all citizens throughout District 3 to at least come to one of these meetings, especially one in your communities. Again, you all will be receiving notice next week in your mailbox, so look in your mailbox to receive your notice. On tonight, I will be attending the Maysville Community Action Group at 6:00 p.m. at the Revelation Baptist Church. The topic we will be discussing is Halloween. There will be a Halloween neighborhood party in the Maysville area on October 31st at 6:00 p.m. And I'm inviting all the citizens in the Maysville area to please attend the community action meeting tonight at the Maysville Community Action Group meeting at 6:00 p.m. at the Revelation Baptist Church. And remember that District 3 is the place where things are happening. Thank you, Vice President.
Thank you, Bess.
Thank you very much. I would just like to make note that Friday evening at sunset, the Jewish community will be observing its holiest of all holidays, which is called Yom Kippur, and it's a time where we atone for our sins and ask for forgiveness. And I wish everyone a time of reflection, and also you do not eat during those hours, and so I hope that it goes well for everyone who is observing that holiest holiday. On October the 7th, which is a Saturday, starting at 7 a.m., there'll be people out at the Connie Hudson Senior Center in order to plant the landscaping that we've been given a grant from Lowe's, and also Commissioner Hudson has utilized horticulturists from the county for the design and for digging the deeper holes, which are very hard to do. We need people to plant the products out there, and we hope that you'll join us. We have master gardeners that will be part of it. It is already sprinkled and has irrigation, but has never really been planted well. And this is what we hope the outcome will be. Again, October 7th at 7 a.m. We'll even serve you lunch because it's a big project. We'll be going not just in the front, but the sides and the rear. Come join us. On October the 19th, the Citizens Police Advisory Council will be meeting out in the district, also at the Connie Hudson Senior Center. Again, that is a Thursday evening, October 19th. They start meeting at 5:30 for people to drop in and ask questions. At 6 o'clock, they hold their meeting and hope that there will be other citizens that will come besides the Advisory Council to answer any questions about what that Advisory Council does and how it can help our police department. So those are my items. Thank you.
Okay, Joel.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I have two announcements. This evening from 5 o'clock to 6:30, there will be the Parks Department will be taking public input on the future of Joe Bailey Park, which is a wonderful little park in District 5 located on Magnolia Avenue. They will be out there taking public comment from 5 until 6:30. I have allocated several $100,000 of capital improvement plan funds to rehabilitate Joe Bailey Park. There's a little children's playground there, and there are some completely dilapidated, disgusting tennis courts there. But it's a nice park, it has nice mature trees, it's a nice size, and I'm hoping that with a good deal of public input, there has also been an opportunity for people to make their comments online. But anybody who would like to weigh in on the future of Joe Bailey Park, please drop by there, Magnolia Avenue, between 5 and 6:30 this evening. There will be a District 5 community meeting on November 7th at 6 o'clock p.m. at St. Pius Church on Sage Avenue. I hope to have the mayor, public safety director Jim Barber, and public services director Bill Harkins there. So that's 6 o'clock p.m. November 7th at St. Pius Church on Sage Avenue. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Levon?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I want to just acknowledge a great loss in the greater Mobile community in the passing of Miss Ernestine Lillian Smith Bracey, a beautiful woman, very active in our community, and raised some young men and a daughter who have been community-minded as well. This is the mother of Reverend Dr. Walter Bracey of the First Baptist Church of Pritchard, Reverend Dr. Nathaniel Bracey, Mr. Bobby Bracey, Miss Lillian Hunt, Mr. Marion Bracey, and State Representative Napoleon Bracey, Jr. Lived in this community for many years from the Walker Springs area, and she passed on September the 21st. Our services will be on Saturday, September 30th at 11 o'clock at the Mobile Baptist Sunlight District Association. And I did not want this meeting to conclude without me formally extending our condolences to the Bracey family in their hours, days, weeks, and months, years of bereavement. I want to certainly salute Ms. Bracey for all that she has contributed directly and indirectly to our community, and let the Bracey family know that you certainly have our individual and collective prayers due to the loss of your great mother. And God bless you. I hope He continues to smile down upon the family. And we will be hopefully in attendance at the service, and also we'll have our staff work on a resolution. Did not get a chance to mention that at the beginning during our moment of silence, but certainly wanted to recognize that there has been a tremendous loss in our community in the person of Miss Ernestine Lillian Smith Bracey. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
All right, thank you. Anything from the administration? Any announcements? Okay. I would like to announce that yesterday the mayor and I had an opportunity to attend a groundbreaking ceremony at the old Bluebird Hardware. That building is going to be restored, and this couple building, Erna Whitson purchased the building, and they're going to possibly have a restaurant in there, coffee shop, and other venues. It's on the corner of O'Shea Road and Bayshore Avenue, the old Bluebird Hardware. And my personal wish is they're going to have some vacant land on the north part of the building. I would like for them to come back with what we have at the Cathedral Square. You know, on Saturdays, they have the open market at the Cathedral Square where they have vegetables and vendors and arts and crafts. I would like for that to happen at the Bluebird, and I would like for them to have music and open air market there on Saturdays. And the only seed is going to grow is the one you plant. I'm just planting seeds, hoping those seeds would take root and grow and produce favorably. So that's what I hope is going to happen. I would like to announce that, excuse me, on Thursday, October the 19th, we will be holding our Tobinville community meeting at the Tobinville Library. That meeting will start at 6 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about jobs. In fact, all of my community meetings, jobs going to be the #1 item on all of my community meetings, and job training. Those two is going to always be there. We're going to talk about the CIP funds. We're going to talk about projects, give you an update on projects that we already have ongoing. We're going to have someone there to talk about public safety, and then we're going to have input from our citizens about what it is that they would like for us to work on. And I'd like to remind the citizens that I have sent a brochure to over 11,000 homes in District 1 stating that I will be getting CIP funding, and I would like for the citizens to tell me what it is that they would like for me to work on in the various communities. And when I get that, I'm going to prioritize it into my District 1 capital improvement plan, submit that to the mayor, and that's what we're going to work on. If I don't hear from you, I would assume that everything is going well and you don't have any items that you wish for us to work on. But after October 1st, after the plan has been developed and submitted to the mayor, I don't have any further money. When we submit the plan, the money is voted on by the council, and you can come back later on and say all you want to say. There will be no funding to do it. Your time is now to submit to me, to my office, what it is that you'd like for us to work on so we can put you in the plan. I'm going to ask Chief Sealy. Chief Sealy, would you put October 19th on your schedule to see if you can come? I'd like to introduce you to the community. And if you put that on your schedule, I would appreciate that so much. I would also like to announce that in the past, council meetings were televised on Comcast on Tuesday, not anymore. Our meetings will be televised on Saturdays at 4:30 on Channel 6 Comcast Cable. No longer on Tuesday. It's on Saturday evening at 4:30. So if you want to take a look at what happened today, stay tuned Saturday at 4:30. I know you might be competing with football, but if you want to know what's going on in the city, you got to go over to Channel 6 Comcast and Debbie Brockett. Go ahead. Come on.
Would also add that it's on YouTube as well, so you can watch it a little quicker. I think it's being broadcast live, and then it'll be available on YouTube from now on out.
Yes.
It's archived. It's archived.
Madam Clerk, it's not only broadcast live, it's archived on the city's website, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So that's very YouTube city website, Comcast cable. In other words, there's no reason for you not to know what's going on. If all minds are clear, this meeting is adjourned.
So I guess we're not going to try to talk to Comcast to get them back?
Oh, I don't know.
I would like to go visit the local director when he's in town and ask him to put it back where it belongs.
Have Deidre to schedule out here with you. Just have Deidre schedule.
Okay. I'll do that.
19th. October. At the Tocqueville Library. Tocqueville
All
Library.
right.
6. Okay.
I'm sure they'll be Depends how the mediation is going.